Yo, it's your boy Uncle Pre with another episode of the Unfiltered Podcast. I'm here doing a solo episode again, and I look the same as probably one of the other episodes you've seen. Yep, because I am running through these topics that have been coming up. And I wanted to spend a bit more time on this particular one, so I apologize if I elaborate. Now, my voice sounds very dry right now. It's all on the back end of the fact that I have been recording for a number of hours now with no water, no breaks. We're just going. So I'm going to try and keep this entertaining, but it's a difficult topic. At the same time, it's all about relationships again. Why? I have a number of clients that come up to me about these kind of things, and I feel like when I've opened their eyes to these kind of scenarios and thoughts, it's been very, very helpful. So I thought, well, obviously I'm going to want to do that for a wider audience who are possibly going through similar things, you know? And if I'm brushing my hair, it's because I've been wearing this hat all day and I feel like my hair looks messy. So allow me. But yeah, today's topic, I'm going to go a bit deep in regards to the concept of when someone leaves you. So someone breaks up with you, but you still want them back. And the reason why I want to touch base in this is because I feel like it's something that we all do initially. And I'm reading Jay Shetty's 8 Rules of Love book, and I just went past that chapter as well. And I was like, oh, quite similar. So call it manifestation, call it good timing, whatever it is. I'm ready for it. But what you're telling yourself when you're in the scenario is that what you want right now is what could have been. Like, everything was fine. It was all going well, and all of a sudden you've been hit out of the dark with a breakup, and now you are essentially blinded by the feeling that you had in this relationship. You got quite deep with it and possibly didn't see what was actually arising. So when they leave and they say, look, sorry, we've got to call it a day right now, the initial response that some of you may have in these scenarios is, why? No, we were so good. It was always meant to work. Oh man, no. Like, no. Like, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to change. I'll do anything I can. Why do we do these things? Why do we chase back for someone who wants to go? We miss the warmth. We miss what was in the relationship. We had all of these visualizations. If you're a bit like me, where sometimes you get a bit deep and you're a bit of a hopeless romantic, you start thinking about the future in some context, right? And you put yourself in scenarios where you're wondering whether or not how far this was going to go down the line, where they're going to be the mother of your children or the father of your children or whatever. Like, all of these thoughts and these reminders come back in, and it just puts you in a position where you just don't want to let go. And it's a funny one, because like, if you've been in relationships from a younger age, you would realize that as one relationship goes, despite the fact that you may have been in this position, you find a way of getting into another one. Initially, in the moment, we don't think like that. But if you're in like, if you're a little bit older and you're feeling shit, that was the one, it can really play on your mind. And like, I've been in scenarios of this in the past, and I've had clients who bring this up to me, and I started to think about it. Like, what would my coach tell me if I brought this up to them? What would they say to me? What would be like the key thing that stands out? And what came about was this little exercise we did. When I say we did, I mean I did with myself in front of a mirror, just to see whether or not it would be quite beneficial. And it was, okay, your ex right now, let's pretend they never left, but the feeling in wanting to leave you was existent. It was there. How would you feel if you were in a relationship with your ex right now, knowing they didn't want to be there? How would it feel sleeping next to your partner, knowing they can't stand being there next to you? They are completely uncomfortable being in that bed next to you. They've fallen out of love with you, but they're just not going to leave. Would you want to be in that situation? I'm going to look at every camera right now. I have a feeling everyone is saying no. It sounds terrible, right? Like, it's so easy to say no in that scenario. Why would I want to be with someone who generally can't stand me, doesn't want to be next to me, doesn't, like, it's got the ick, like I'm doing something wrong? Like, why would I want to do that? So if someone has walked out on you right now, why isn't this a reminder? Or if it is right now and it's helping, you can thank me later. I get it, rejection and heartbreak is very awful, but if we spun it around and we actually thought about it, they want to leave for a reason, whatever it is. They've got their reason. But if they were forced to stay, knowing that they didn't want to be there, you would not want to put them in that position. You wouldn't want them to be like that. You wouldn't want to be next to someone who doesn't want you. That just sounds as funny as it is. It sounds terrible. maybe food for thought right now if you're in its position. Maybe that may help you right now in terms of moving forward and letting go, not necessarily feeling like you need to go back. I'll leave that there. Now, there are people who have this positive mindset, and I will put my hands up and say I was this guy as well. Have this positive mindset where we always want to try and grow and learn, and it's sad because I hope that it hasn't come across as desperation in the past, but like when you really kind of feel for someone, i.e. you're in love with someone, like it's difficult to let go. So I get it. I do understand it. And if you're like me, well, like you are that hopeless romantic, you've worked hard to get here, you've developed feelings, you really see something with this person, like naturally you don't want to let go and you want to try and find a way because you've got this positive mindset where, oh shit, I'm doing this wrong. How can I make it better? How can I do this? Thinking about it right now, man, I would hate to be with someone who truly didn't want to be with me. Like, I'm all for wanting to learn and grow, but right now, the old me, I could never be that person again. And it's sad because, like, I want to grow and evolve with someone and with a partner, essentially. But if that person doesn't want to do that with me, no matter what point of my life it is, it's see ya, bye. Like, that's not going to make me happy trying to make this work with you, unfortunately. If you're saying bye right now, you're saying bye for a reason. Whatever reason it is, whether it's you acting up right now, you don't know what's going on and you just can't deal with it and you just decided to walk away, or if that happens again and again and again, like that shit can't run, or generally you just don't like me, you find someone else more attractive, or you've got a better connection, a more intimate, more personal connection with someone else. Yo, man, I ain't never gonna want to. Why am I not gonna want to walk away from you? It sounds so bad though, right? It's one of those spinners in your head. Like if your ex has now found someone else, more appealing, more ticking their boxes, whatever it is, yo, I ain't gonna sit here and complain about like, yo, what I brought to the table. Like, do your thing. Honestly, do your thing. Cool. Like, I wish you well, and that's not coming from a bad place. I do wish you well because, end of the day, I know what I bring to the table, and I feel like this is one thing that doesn't get brought up enough. But it's just that self-worth. When you back yourself enough, you don't act arrogantly. You don't just call. You don't just bullshit everything. But at the same time, you hand on your heart know you're a good person. You bring X, Y, Z to the table, and if they don't want to bring that energy back and they want to find it with someone else, cool. I'm not going to force that. As much as I would like to grow with you, it is what it is. It's a very, very interesting one for you to think about. I think it's also important that when you're in this situation right now, that you try and reflect back on not necessarily just the good times, but also the bad times. Like, there clearly is a reason for this person to let go, and we need to read those signs. Sometimes we don't read them and we put them aside because we're so fearful of being alone and everything else that comes with it. It's a case of we ignore some of the things, and I don't want to hit the mic, but the blinkers are on and we just don't want to look left or right. It's a case of, no, there were warning signs. They didn't want to do X, Y, Z way back when. You know, they didn't want to introduce you to their family. They kept delaying it. Or another example could be they didn't want to like try and move in with you. You've got a place. They didn't want to take that next step. It's like, shit, do they actually really want to make the most of this? Were they really up for it or not? And maybe it wasn't the case, but you just didn't want to see it because you were so invested. And that's where it gets a bit more difficult. In all honesty, it does get a bit difficult because it's like you were doing everything you could to try and keep this needle moving forward, and now they've just stopped it. Well, don't let them stop you moving your needle moving forward. All right, don't let them be the reason why you stay stuck. Don't go backwards. Keep that needle moving forward with or without them. It is what it is. I want to try and touch base on another one, and this is more of a personal one. I'm not going to name drop my coaching friend in this, but she planted me a careful reminder. When we're in these situations where people walk away from us, we're very quick to highlight all of the great things about them. Very rarely do we highlight any negatives. Okay, we say, oh, they were amazing, they did this for us, they were perfect, blah blah blah. You get where I'm going with this. And I circled around and round and round about everything positive about this one person, and it was fantastic. It was I couldn't find a bad word. And my coaching friend hit me up with something and said, roll up your sleeve. And I can't do it right now, because it's well, maybe I can. I don't know if you can. I don't know. Can the camera see it? Does it work? I'm very comfortable in this seat. Let me do it like this. Can you see that over there? Yeah? Okay, cool. So that's my gladiator, right? My gladiator on my arm, my tattoo, is to resemble that I'm a person that doesn't give up. I don't back down from a fight. I always try and find a way of moving forward, growing, learning, evolving. There's no way you're bringing me down. I never back down. I always keep the needle moving forward, right? So she reminded me of that. And she said, that gladiator on you, it's a conscious reminder, Pri, that you're never going to give up, right? And I said, yeah. I'm going to ask you a number of things. Tell me what you, and you respond. And she basically asked me, what do I deserve in a partner? What am I really looking for? Why? And I just listed everything. And I said, it's so funny. Everything I'm listing right now is resembling this person that has just walked away from me. She was like, that's fantastic. One thing you haven't mentioned right now is in relation to that gladiator. And I said, what do you mean? And she was like, Pri, you're the kind of person that will try and find a way in mending something. You won't just give up. You will go to the end and realize that quitting is not giving up. But if this is best, fine. You're gonna keep wanting to make things work. You're willing to give someone else a second chance, a third chance, and a fourth chance. That's the kind of person you are. Right? I says, yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good thing now. She said, no, just sit with that. That's who you are. That's the quality. That's the value you bring to the table. Not once have you told me right now you deserve someone to give that back to you. And it hit me. That hit me. It got me thinking, fuck, all this time I'm trying to chase someone or try and be with someone who I've never once thought whether or not they would do the same back for me, in terms of go to the ends of the earth and really connect with me and not let me go and keep fighting to try and make this work. When it's rocky, when it's difficult, find a way of picking me back up, not giving up, being my gladiator too. And like that conversation kind of spiraled into other things, but it was a highlighter that what I'm really looking for right now is a tag team partner. If I go back to wrestling days, if anyone remembers wrestling from way back when, let me throw you a few tag teams. We had the Hardy Boys, we had Edge and Christian, we had Kane and The Undertaker, the Dudley Boys. If you watch it currently, they've got the Usos, which are, if you remember Rikishi, his sons. Anyway, tag team partners with you to the end. When you're down and out, they're going to find a way of tagging you back in. They're going to try and jump in to break the pin. They won't leave you hanging, right? That's a tag team partner. That's what you're looking for. If someone walks out on you, they are no longer your tag team partner. If they leave you in the ring to fight alone, they aren't real with you. How does that sound? Just imagine it right now. You're in a fight. You're there. Your partner walks away. You're in the ring. You're getting battered. It's 2-on-1. They don't want to jump in. Is that kind of someone you really want to be with? Personally, that doesn't work for me. I can't sit with that. And once the realization kicks in, it's a case of I want to find my tag team partner. I don't necessarily want to just waste my time waiting for you to come back around. Because right now, the beating that I'm getting, the pain I'm feeling, you ain't there to help me out. Because the idea of what I'm trying to do right now is really get you thinking about this particular scenario you're in from a different perspective. I feel like sometimes what comes up when people walk away is this feeling of rejection. Well, it does. And it really bugs us out. When you get rejected from a job interview, and I've said this so many times, when you get rejected from a promotion, it can leave a sour taste in your mouth, but you keep moving forward. You rarely give up, right? You don't just say, well, that's it. I'm going to quit and that's it. Maybe it leaves a sting and you decide to try and find another company to work for the same level or more salary. Or maybe you try again the next year. You try and get that constructive feedback to know what you could do better next time around, right? You don't throw in the towel when you get rejected in this scenario. You don't give up. You don't beg for them to give you another chance. You don't, right? You don't hold on to it and just take that with you throughout your career. No, you don't. You let it go and you move forward, right? That's just the way we operate. So why can't we do that when someone walks away from us? Why is it that I get DMs from people telling me that they're giving up on finding a partner because they got rejected by someone or this person walked away? They got told no for a second date in public. They got ghosted. Why is it that we're still holding on and we let all of that negative energy stop us from actually doing the things that we want to do, and that's actually try and find love and grow with someone? I want to let that just sink in for a bit more because I feel like it is a big thing really to dive into. So if you're in this scenario right now where people have walked out on you, just think about it. I'm hoping right now, if you've been in this situation where someone has walked out on you or they're currently in the process of leaving and it feels like shit, really and truly, do you want someone in your corner like that who's going to walk away and allow you to get a beating? Do you really want to be with someone right now who genuinely just doesn't want you at all? That's nothing wrong with you. Honestly, there is nothing wrong with what you've done. Maybe you have done something wrong and that's a story for another day, but generally, like, if someone doesn't really want to grow with you and be with you and try and find a way of making this work, it's not really worth your time. And I hope this has helped, because I've got loads of people that are going through this, and I know it sucks, it's shit, it doesn't feel nice, it's not great. But I'm hoping with what I've said right now in this particular episode, it adds a bit more value and you get a better feeling in regards to what you can start doing moving forward in regards to leaving this person aside and being the person you really want to be. Anyway, I've rambled on a lot, and I feel like it's being my last episode of the day, I am probably talking the most shit. So as I think it's time for me to call it a day. And guys, if you like, guys and girls, if you like listening to this episode today, definitely give me a shout and reach out to me about any other particular topics I can go into and touch base on. It's always important that I am able to resonate with the audience and give them exactly what they want, or try to at least. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this kind of solo episode. Kind of deep. Maybe could have gone a bit deeper. Maybe still will get a bit deeper in the future. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, love. Thank you for listening. It's been your boy Uncle Pre, and I'm signing out. Peace.